What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. Chuck Silver and Smitty here with Occupy Fantasy. We're going to talk about this cool little five gamer they have on both sites. There are 7 games tonight, but they cut off the late games on both sites. I don't think I've seen that on FanDuel before. I would have expected them to keep the 2 late games, but we're going to get through this five gamer. It seems like an okay one. We have a couple of injury spots we're going to look at. Smitty, how are we doing?
Yeah, doing pretty good. Like you said, FanDuel cut off the game, so it's almost like a turbo slate. We have one late swap, and we have 4 games to swap for, so it'll be a big one. But yeah,
Guys, I am trying to use the mic on my webcam today because I've had some complaints about that like static interference. So let me know if it's that I sound all right and you guys can hear me. The couple of injury notes that we had, you have a pretty big lean. Well, I don't know if it's a big lean on him actually missing the game, but that the advantage we could get if we plan for him not to play Jamal Murray. A lot of his Denver teammates would look pretty good if he ends up missing the game.
yeah. I kind of wish it was like that was the 7:30 or the like 30 minutes after the rest, but still, just the spots that you don't lock up in the earlier, just kind of more plus EV on this slate. I think, especially if Jamal's ruled out.
Yeah, and with the weird slate starting times too today, let me move up a little bit. uh, Suns and Heat start at lock, and then the other 4 games start a half hour after that. So it's not like people aren't going to be able to late swap, but that extra couple percent advantage that we could get from people being lazy is always worth it. And then we had Anthony Edwards being out is a big deal because the top of my exposures are all Minnesota guys right now.
Yeah. It's not just Ant too; it's Ant and Gobert, which
Okay.
we haven't really seen that often. So, the field don't really know, and neither do we. But we're trying to guess the best we can, really.
And then was there anything else that was pretty significant for this 5 gamer?
The Bulls are fairly thin. Kobe White is out. Josh Giddey's out, so they're still pretty short-handed. But they play everyone 30 minutes and call it good, basically.
I'll mention Miles Turner is questionable. Norm Powell got ruled in, so Norm Powell's available, but Miles Turner is questionable. He's down to 4,800 over on FanDuel. I don't want to play him. I haven't wanted to play him all season, but he is showing up because he's so cheap. So if he ends up missing, maybe we can just avoid that and play a little more Giannis or something.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of think he sits, but we'll see.
Okay, let's hop into this first game, Suns versus Heat. So from the Sun side, I actually don't have too much interest. I think I was getting a little bit of Dylan Brooks, a little bit of Royce O'Neal. Actually, I'm getting sprinkles of a lot of the guys here, but no one is showing up more than 10% for me. Is that different for you?
Nope. I'm pretty much the same. At the highest for me is Brooks at 8%. I have a little bit of Gillespie, a little bit of Goodwin, but that's like 2 and 3%. So overall I'm pretty low on them.
Is that specifically on FanDuel you're talking about?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
me too.
FanDuel. Mark Williams, I have a couple percent of him too. I think he's okay.
Yeah, I mean, just going by the model, he is going to show up as a top value over here. Dylan Brooks is a top value over on FanDuel. But Mark Williams, 16%, only 5,500. I think it's a guy that we should be interested in playing on most days, especially on a kind of a shorter slate. He does have that ceiling. I mean, no one else is really standing out besides him and Dylan Brooks. Royce O'Neal looks good on DraftKings, and then the rest of the guys are just GPP shots, I guess, today.
Yeah, they're pretty much just fully healthy, and we have a lot of teams that aren't. So I'd rather prioritize them. You could take GPP shots though, like a lowish owned Devin Booker is never really a bad thing. He'll probably get you your 40 fantasy points, and that's about it. But he does spike every once in a while.
Nice. We'll go to the Miami side. And again, I'm not getting much exposure to this team. I think I'm over the field on Norman Powell. The model is identifying him as a good value today. It thinks Andrew Wiggins is a really strong value, though. He's only 3% owned on DraftKings, but 15% on FanDuel. I think that's a spot we could probably get over on.
Yeah, I was just checking. I think we got something. Okay, Norm Powell is in. So yeah, for me, yeah, I think Wiggins is fine. The model's identifying him as the best Heat play, and I don't mind taking some shots there. They're kind of like the Suns in that they're pretty much fully healthy. Like this is probably the healthiest that they've been. So whoever you play here, like I wouldn't want really more than one Heat in my lineup, but someone might have a good game.
Yeah, I'm only getting exposure to Powell, Wiggins, and Bam Adebayo from this team, getting zero of everybody else. Do you think anyone else is worth a few sprinkles?
No, probably not.
Yeah,
We
it's
did
tough.
get. I know you didn't play. I think it was Sunday. Pele Larson started, and no one played him. So
Yeah.
he put up like 27, 30 fantasy points.
All right, we'll look out for that starting lineup. See if maybe Pele starts again. We can consider him. We haven't projected for 19 minutes. I imagine if he starts, we'd want to bump him up a few, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I will say, Hero on DraftKings is probably a little too cheap, especially at 6% ownership.
Nice.
He's almost back to full, so I don't mind it. With Norman, kind of takes a hit, but I do think he's pretty solid.
And I just want to mention Khalil Ware. I don't understand. Like, is he bad on defense or something? Because Spolstra doesn't want to play him. He's been their best player, in my
Yeah,
opinion, for like a month, and then he just loses his playing time. I don't get it.
yeah, I think they just need to trade him.
They need to trade him to the Lakers because we have a home for him. I mean,
Yeah,
is there any interest in just taking the shot that he gets more than this 19 minutes, or is it just no?
not really on FanDuel. What's his price on DraftKings?
The same,
Oh
basically.
yeah, probably not.
Okay. Yeah, it's tough. Um,
The I will mention at least Jovic. His minutes have been pretty consistent, but they've had people out. But still in tournaments, I think you could take shots on him. He's kind of gained Spo's trust and been pretty consistent for them. And then Davion Mitchell with everyone in is not really a fun option, but at low ownership, I don't mind mixing him in either.
nice, nice. Um, all right. Should we start with Timberwolves Bucks or Nuggets Pelicans, or you want to save those just in case we get an update?
Yeah, we could wait on those. I don't know if we'll get anything, but we could start with like the teams we kind of know.
Okay, let's do Chicago. You already mentioned a couple injury notes. It looks like the model really likes Werder on DraftKings at only 7%. I'd be pretty into that. Modest is showing up as a decent value. Trey Jones, disappointing off and on, but at this low ownership, I really don't hate it. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Houston's defense has kind of taken a hit lately. They haven't been as good. They've lost three straight, so the spread's pretty wide here. But maybe Chicago could hang in it. Don't mind mixing in a few of these guys. I'm actually have some interest in Jalen Smith. I'm thinking maybe he starts here, but even off the bench, I'll be pretty interested in going to Jalen Smith. Power forward eligibility is pretty massive. So I think he's pretty good. More so on FanDuel at that 5K price. And then you have the guards, Trey Jones, Io. Io's been playing really good. I don't mind mixing him in. And then same with Trey Jones. I think they're both GPP plays.
Yeah, the model is pretty into Io DeSumo over on DraftKings at only 5,300, on FanDuel at 5,900. It's not as into him, but it looks like he's still fine if you're going to take shots. And on that Jalen Smith note, I was looking at him too. If we end up with him starting today, he could come in a little bit under owned. I would like that a lot over on FanDuel.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he'd be a really good play. 5K is just too cheap. If you assume he plays anywhere in the upper 20 minutes, he probably pays off that tag with ease.
We'll go to the other side of this game, the Rockets. Now, I've been laughing at this team because Kevin Durant is so mad, dude. He's like as mad as JJ Redick's been. He's on the bench, like just throwing temper tantrums, and then they're losing every game. Really disappointing season for them so far. Kevin Durant's price is up a little bit. I'm getting a couple percentage of him, Sengun, Jabari Smith. I need to check on my Aaron Holiday exposure, but what do you like from this team?
Yeah, for me on FanDuel, I'm getting to a decent amount of Sengun. He was back last game and he played pretty much full minutes. So going against Chicago, pretty good matchup for him. And the fact that you could play him at power forward is nice. When you could play like three centers on a slate, pretty nice there. So I do like Sengun. Um, Amin Thompson has kind of seen a spike in his scoring lately, so I don't mind taking some shots on him. I think he's okay. Reed's kind of been pretty rough lately, so kind of just staying away there. But it's mainly Amin Thompson, Sengun, and then a little bit of KD is probably fine too.
Nice. I thought I'd have a little more Aaron Holiday than this. I'm under this 9% right now. Maybe I'd bump him up one or two, but we do have a couple really cheap point guard plays on the Timberwolves, so maybe that's why he's not showing up as much. But the model really likes Aaron Holiday, really likes Jabari Smith, and then yeah, that note about Sengun being power forward eligible is huge for him.
Yeah, yeah. One thing to look for too is if Chicago does start double big, it's possible the Rockets might too.
Yeah,
Adams Sengun lineup,
yeah.
which in theory would probably hurt Amin, at least for rebounding, and same with KD. So if you do see that, I'd be less interested in Amin Thompson and KD. I think Sengun's pretty much the same play, and if that's the case, but and then you'd see more minutes for Capella too, which I don't know his price on DraftKings. He's not even in the model, but you'd see more minutes if he's like near min price. I think you could take shots.
Yeah, if so I'm assuming Aaron Holiday starts. He started the last game if I'm not mistaken. And the
Yeah,
situation you're talking about, they would likely go with what would it be? Amon Thompson, KD, Sengun, Jabari Smith, and Steven Adams.
yeah.
Okay, so they would just go really big.
It's one of those two. I could see.
Yeah, if Aaron Holiday's off the bench, it's going to be really hard to get there just because I think we do have those really strong plays in Minnesota. But I'd probably still be okay mixing in a couple percent of him. I'm still not getting that much now, and I'm projecting him to start. We'll go to the next game. We'll do Spurs Thunder. This is one of my favorite matchups in the NBA. This should be the dynasty for like the next 10 years if no one makes mistakes and messes up, right? So
Yep.
on the San Antonio side, Harrison Barnes is showing up with a really strong value score on both sides, very low owned. I think he's a guy that we should get over the field on, especially with all the chalk we're going to be playing. Julian Champagny, I love today, especially over on FanDuel at only 5,300. And then for me, the rest of the guys are kind of just cheap PP plays. But what do you think?
Yeah, I'm pretty similar. Yeah, I might bump Barnes a little bit, try and get a few percent there. Wimby is someone that I want to be over the field on, especially 9 and 7% on someone that could break a slate. Seems pretty good. It's possible he plays into 30 minutes. He don't like this team. He played 27 last time out, started, so I do feel pretty good about his minutes. If we do get 30 minutes and the field's under projecting him, could definitely break the slate. So I think Wimby is a good tournament play. Champagny's just kind of taken Vassell's role, really. His minutes have been secure. OKC struggles against 3 point shooters, so I do think that kind of fits his game. So even though he's coming in with some ownership on FanDuel, I think he's pretty good. On DraftKings, more of a tournament play. That's pretty much it. I think we can mix in like Harrison Barnes, Fox, Keldon Johnson, but that's pretty much it.
Yep, I agree. Mixing in all those guys, I'm about 2x the field on Wemby right now. I have 15%. That feels pretty good. And then Stephon Castle, I had to bump him up a lot to get him to him on FanDuel. Those guard spots are kind of valuable today, so it's a little tougher, but he does have the ceiling, and kind of like Wemby, I think he has a thing for beating OKC too. So I don't mind mixing him in a little bit as kind of like a contrarian pay up.
Yeah, yeah, I don't mind that.
All right,
Um,
now into the fun stuff, right? We finished everything with the other games. We'll
we
get
got
to.
OKC.
Oh, we do have OKC. That's why I double check with Smitty because he knows what's going on. Um, these guys are showing up with pretty great value scores, pulling a little bit of ownership. What's your main interest here?
Yeah, so we got Alex Caruso ruled out just not too long ago. So the model still might be updating, but either way, I think it's a pretty interesting team if we think San Antonio makes it pretty close, which they have every other time they've won. So I do think OKC could play fairly tight, and then you take one more person out of the rotation. Pretty helpful. So Caruso's minutes should be pretty good. They've used him to guard Wimby. I'm not saying I want to jam Caruso, but I do think he's a viable value play. Chet is actually pretty interesting. He's done pretty good historically against Wimby, and I kind of think he takes it personal in these matchups.
Yep.
So don't mind getting this over the field on Chet, and then SGA as well. They're going to want this win, so I'm pretty interested in the main pieces. Jalen Williams just hasn't really shown it to me this year, so I'm kind of fine just not really playing him. But I do want Chet and SGA.
Yeah, the model being so high on Jalen Williams, I'm hardly getting any. The field's not really getting there. Just like you said, I really want to see him at least have a couple blow up games before I start playing him. Because if he gives us this 39, 40 fantasy points he's been giving us, it's not going to break our backs, but it's not going to help us win a tournament.
Yeah,
Maybe if we have the rest of the lineup perfect, but I do have a lot of interest in Chet. Like you said, he's been pretty good against San Antonio. And then for SGA, I'm actually getting a pretty decent amount of SGA. He's projected for 12 and 18%. As long as his price is under 11K, we have a 9.5 point spread. But San Antonio's beat OKC 3 times so far this season. SGA said something in one of the post games, I think after the third game, like a team doesn't beat you 3 times in a row without them being better than you. So you know that he's going to take this one personal. I think he's going to step up a little bit, and it's hard to quantify, so I just bumped him up 1 fantasy point. That gave me enough. And from the role players, I don't know. Kason Wallace is the guy showing up the most. It just might be that his salary fits the position I need.
yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at too. I think Kason's minutes are going to be pretty solid now. We'll have to see what they do with the starting lineup if they throw in Wiggins or AJ Mitchell. I probably lean one of them, maybe a random Isaiah Joe start, but for Dort, it's probably going to be Wiggins or AJ Mitchell. Whichever one it is, I think is pretty appealing. I don't mind mixing in either one of them.
I think I'd be more interested in AJ Mitchell if he got the start, but Aaron Wiggins should be in consideration too. The model actually likes Wiggins more than AJ Mitchell at their current minutes. AJ Mitchell we have for 5 more minutes, and the model still likes Wiggins more.
Yep.
Okay, nice. Now we can get into the fun stuff. Let's start with the Timberwolves since we know Ant Edwards is out. So, who's your highest exposed? Who are your 3 highest exposed players right now over on FanDuel? Anyway,
Yeah, it's kind of totally different on FanDuel and DraftKings. Well, not totally different, but there is some differences. Right now on FanDuel, my highest exposed are Randall. They're like kind of all mixed, but mainly Randall is my highest exposed, and
okay.
then I have like a good amount of Nas, Bones, Dante, and Jaden McDaniels.
What's different for you on DraftKings?
DraftKings, they're all just so much cheaper. I think you just play them. Like Bones is almost min price. Julius Randle's the same, so he's fine. Uh, Dante's even cheaper there, and then Nas Reed is 6,100, which is just terrible. Jaden McDaniels is a little cheaper, so really, I think I would on DraftKings I would start my lineups with Nas and maybe Bones, but definitely Nas. Like Nas, I'd probably just lock him.
Okay, and then over on FanDuel, I'm still over the field on Nas. It feels very uncomfortable, but what are you gonna do there?
I'm going to be over on Nas.
Okay,
I just think he's going to play as many minutes as he can handle. They don't really want to play their backup centers, so it's going to be a lot of him and a lot of Randall playing the five, which is
yeah,
pretty nice.
okay, nice. And then did you say Bones was a borderline lock?
No, no,
Okay.
Nas. Bones is okay to me.
Okay. Okay. Because my 2 highest on FanDuel right now are Bones and Dante. Julius and Nas are right behind them. Aaron Gordon, Trey Murphy, actually. But um, Dante, we should feel pretty good about playing him, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Gonna be. It kind of depends on the starting lineup too, but assuming Conley starts, which I figure he will, kind of helps Dante because he's going to be with a lower usage player. Now, if you get a random bone start, I think that hurts Dante. But assuming it is Conley, I think that's pretty good for Dante. And then his price on DraftKings is really good. But Dante is just one of those guys that does a little bit of everything, so you can kind of feel good about him at least paying off his tag, and you kind of hope he makes some shots. But yeah, I think he looks pretty good. Jaden McDaniels gets a pretty good uptick whenever Anthony Edwards is out. The only thing is we have Gobert out too, so you replace him with Nas Reed, and that's a high usage player. So I'm not exactly sure how that works out for him.
Okay. I'm Jaden McDaniels projected for 20 and 25%. I'm over the field on him too. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I think on FanDuel, a lot of it for me is just kind of hoping he gets that stock variance, get 3 or 4 stocks, and we'll feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, yeah, I like McDaniels quite a bit.
You mentioned Mike Conley very briefly. The model is projecting him as great value over on DraftKings. It just his teammates are better value, even though Mike Conley's the min price. He's projected for 25% ownership. Over on FanDuel, he's not quite the min price, but 3,700, basically same thing. Projected for 14%, but the model's telling us he's one of the worst values on this team. So how do you want to handle that?
Yeah, I think we have his minutes under projected,
Okay.
definitely. But I think he could get into the upper 20s here pretty easily. They don't want to play Dillingham. They don't want to play any of these guys. Like they're going to keep it really tight. So I do think this is a spot we want to be. As far as Conley goes, I'm not going to vouch for Mike Conley, but I do think he's pretty good on both sides. I don't mind mixing him in. I've been debating all day if I want to do like a max one of him and Bones, and I highly doubt they really share the court than for more than maybe like a minute.
Okay.
And there's so much good value on this slate that I think we can do that pretty comfortably. Like we could probably outscore them with someone else if they both have a decent games.
I'm gonna set that rule right now. Actually, max one of
Yeah,
Mike Conley and Bones.
yeah, I did that because I kind of want to be spread out between them. I don't want to play all Bones and no Conley. I kind of want to get some Conley, and then if Bones fails, you're ahead. So, the one thing I will say too about like there's kind of two things for Bones. Like he's going to be in the second unit. You take Nas Reed out of there, out of the second unit is pretty good for him. Like he should have all the usage he wants, assuming he comes off the bench. Like his minutes are going to be pretty decent, but he should have a lot of usage.
Nice. So looking at my FanDuel lineups, I'm actually not getting as many as I thought I would that have four Minnesota players. A lot of them have three or two Minnesota players, and a lot of lineups have two Denver players. Are you getting a lot of four Minnesota stacks on
I
either
capped
side?
it at 3, so
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
I don't know. I could see 4 working out, but I'm going with 3 for now. They're kind of priced up. Like Nas Reed, Julius Randle are 8K, so kind of expensive.
And then I'll mention Jalen Clark down here. Did you have interest in him?
I actually haven't bumped,
Okay.
trying to get like a couple percent, but nothing too crazy.
I tried to get a couple percent too. I got exactly in my 150 set. I got two lineups with him, so not too much. I don't know. I think he's probably worth a couple. Probably worth a 2%.
Yeah.
Other side of this game, how's Milwaukee going to handle this? I mentioned Miles Turner's questionable. If he's out, I don't even know who the boost goes to anymore. I think usually it would be to Portis and Giannis a little bit, but with this team, I'm really not sure. What do you think about the Bucks?
Yeah, as far as who starts for Turner, I kind of think they might go Jericho Sims, and
Oh,
then I mean, not saying I want to play Jericho Sims, but I think that's probably the route they go. But it would be a bump and for Portis, Kuzma, all those guys that would still get minutes out of it. So um, I have Portis bumped a little bit to try and get a few percent just to be ahead. I have a little bit, but there's a lot of good power forward center plays where I don't think he's like a must unless he starts, and then that's pretty interesting. But yeah, he would probably be my favorite. Like I don't really want to play Jericho Sims.
yeah, I don't think we need Jericho Sims. We have enough other kind of cheap big men values that we could play today. With
Yeah,
Portis, I had to bump him quite a bit just to get the 5% that I have. I still have Miles Turner in my exposure, so I didn't X him out. 14% Kevin Porter, 14% Ryan Rollins, 24% Giannis. Does that sound pretty good over on FanDuel?
yeah. Currently at 30 Giannis, 20
Okay.
KPJ, but
Nice.
I have them bumped a little bit. One thing like people kind of failed to consider, and I don't know how much projections really take it into account, and people that go off DVP and stuff like that is Gobert being out is pretty big for this rim defense. So pretty into getting to Giannis. We've seen his minutes come up. No Gobert, and you replace him with Nas Reed. I think he should get to the rim pretty easily. And then KPJ, he's just playing a ton of minutes, so pretty interested in getting over on KPJ as well.
Yeah, that Gobert note. I don't know if people realize that Minnesota is like a historically good defense again, and it's literally just because of Rudy Gobert. He's one of the best defensive players on time of all time. He gets a bad rap, but his impact on the court is definitely there. So I like that KPJ call even more than I like the Giannis call. Models giving us KPJ top of value, really strong OF index,
Yep.
top of value for this team anyway. And his price came down to around 8K, which is great because I was pretty into playing him when he was more expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. His minutes the last four games has been 38 plus, but he has two of those games are 40 minutes. So really good minutes.
Ryan Rollins is showing up as a really strong value as well, projected for a little bit less ownership on DraftKings, basically the same on FanDuel. But like I mentioned, I'm mixing him in a pretty decent amount. Do you like playing him and KBJ together?
Um, I think he's okay. I actually brought him down a little bit, just
Oh, okay.
not as into him.
Okay. And then last guy I'm going to ask you about here, AJ Green. I got a few percent as a sprinkle. I think he's always a guy worth mixing in.
Yeah, it's your boy.
It's my boy right there. He won me a tournament earlier this year when he was
Yeah.
like 0.1% owned or something.
Currently don't have any. Yeah, he almost won you that the dunk that
Oh,
one
the
night
big one
too.
too. Yeah.
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 Currently don't have any, but I might bump him up. You're the AJ Green whisperer, so
It's just I talk about it on stream all the time. Like first of all, the model's identifying him as a top value over on FanDuel from this team, and these types of players, AJ Green, his literal only role on the court is to shoot and make threes, and so it's really hard to predict. Like, yeah, certain teams leave guys open from three more, certain teams give up threes at a higher percentage, but with like dead eye shooters like AJ Green, I think we just always have to be interested in playing them when they're coming in for lower ownership.
yep.
Especially, I don't know if Miles Turner being out affects him that much, but I kind of just think it's a team wide boost rather than the backup center gets a boost if Miles Turner ends up missing. So there's more
Yeah.
reasons to be interested in AJ Green. He's only projected for 2 and 7% ownership. You don't have to play it much. Let's see. Yeah, Chet. Jim likes Chet. Optimizers are big on Timberwolves. Yeah, they're going to be jamming the Timberwolves in
Yeah.
tonight. And I think it's fine. It sounds like we're both into it. Just mix in enough guys around it so that you give yourself a chance at taking down the tournament.
Yeah, I didn't really make any rules. Like I said, I'm max three, and then I'm max one of Bones and Conley. I tried to think of some other ones, but I think they run super tight, so I don't want to really constrict it on this small of a slate.
Jim asked this question 20 minutes ago. Sorry, I just saw it now, Jim. If you're playing Denver and Minnesota, would you fade Giannis today on DraftKings, Smitty?
If you're playing Doom. No.
I wouldn't. Yeah, that would make me more inclined to play Giannis. We get a couple better value pieces, and then if I'm playing 3 or 4 Minnesota guys, I likely want to run it back with at least 1 minute with at least one Milwaukee guy. It's only a 4 point spread. The total's not great, but it's not super low either at 230.
Yeah.
Um, oh, it's our boy Nick Mara. What's up, dude? Thanks for watching our stream. Guessing it's Wiggins for OKC. They like Mitchell running the point whenever SGA is off the floor. Makes sense. Can we feel it in our bones tonight? I tend to play way too much bones on slates like this where bones pops, so I really hope that he just puts up 34.
Yeah, it's tough.
Rocket Sauce, is this on a different slate? I think this is for the night slate. You're locking in Laravia. Highly doubt LeBron's playing on the back to back, and if Luca's out too, well, that's some spots we can take for the night slate, I think.
Yeah, the night slate should be wild.
Yeah, we'll see if we have time to get to it here, but if not, just join the Discord. Instructions are in the description below, and we'll talk about it in there. All right, now maybe this was the game of the night, but the second game of the night, Nuggets and Pelicans. It's a pretty interesting one. So I'll just point out that Aaron Gordon is showing up with really strong value on the model. I'm feeling very comfortable playing him. He started at center last time out, got really strong minutes. We have him for 31 and a half, and his usage should be pretty good. And then if Jamal Murray misses the game, even better. Peyton Watson's price is very, very uncomfortable, but I'm somehow actually over these numbers as well. Smitty, what do you want to do with Denver?
Yeah, to me, this game is really appealing because both teams' defenses are pretty bad. Aaron Gordon, like you said, he's at the top for me, whether Jamal's in or not. I think he looks really good. We want to target the Pelicans with centers, and that's what Aaron Gordon is. So, pretty interested in Aaron Gordon. Can do a little bit of everything. And then after that, it's kind of up to Jamal. Like if Jamal plays or not. Personally, kind of lean that he don't, but we'll know by the time these four games lock. But personally, I'm playing as if he's sitting just to kind of help how my lineups are built. And I am over the field on a lot of these guys. Playing a lot of Aaron Gordon, like I already talked about. Peyton Watson is priced up, but he's been doing it. And if Jamal's out, I'm going right back to him. Jalen Pickett would start, and he's been really good too. So I'd be over the field on Pickett. I think he looks good. This is all assuming Jamal is out, though.
Yeah.
And then THJ, but I think THJ looks good. The ones I would be fine with if Jamal is in is Gordon and THJ, and then Peyton Watson's still good too. Pickett not as much, but yeah, it's pretty up in the air. If Jamal plays, I think he looks pretty solid. Zeke Najee's been getting good minutes. I have interest there, especially if Jamal's out. I think in a trickle down effect, it kind of helps his minutes as well.
Yeah, even if Zeke Najee doesn't start, I'm pretty sure this game was off the bench, right? Against Milwaukee, this 28 minutes.
Yeah, he hasn't started. He started like a couple weeks ago. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, I love these like cheap power forwards, especially over on FanDuel. He's 4,400 over on FanDuel, 4,300 on DraftKings is fine too. This is a guy that we should be mixing in. Don't have to necessarily feel comfortable with it, but he's only projected for 2 and 4% ownership. I think it's good to get over that.
Yeah, going against the Pelicans, he's pretty much taken the backup center role from how it looks right now. So the minutes Aaron Gordon don't play at center, it's going to be Zeke Naji, and it's a pretty appealing spot.
So you mentioned Jamal Murray, like Xing him out, preparing for it, bumping up Pickett and the other guys before the stream to me. And I did
Yeah,
that with Tim Hardaway, and I ended up getting all of the Tim Hardaway. With Jamal Murray in, he doesn't project that great, but kind of similar to what I was just saying about AJ Green. Like we know Tim Hardaway is going to have a roll off the bench. We actually still have him for 27 with Jamal in. At 6% ownership, I think this is a guy that we should feel comfortable getting over the field on. It's going to burn us sometimes, but when it works out, it's pretty good. I imagine his ownership will go up if Jamal Murray gets ruled out. He'd be in line for a few more minutes.
yeah, yeah. I think he's actually pretty good either way, especially at 6%. Someone that they trust, and the Pelicans' defense is pretty bad. So I think THJ is a pretty good play either way.
Kind of in the same boat. They just scored their fantasy points in a different way, but Bruce Brown projected for much more ownership than to Hardaway over on FanDuel as it is right now. I am pretty bearish on Bruce Brown in general. I have a couple percent, I guess, just in case, but I'm not as interested as the field is, even when with Jamal out.
I'm not either. I have 7% Bruce Brown, and I built with
Okay.
Jamal out. So if Jamal's in, I'll probably have zero.
I'd been pretty into playing some Spencer Jones, but that's kind of falling off the last few games. And I'll just mention, I turned on the Denver game the other day. I saw Hunter Tyson out there. I was like, oh, he's back in the rotation.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's worth anything to us fantasy wise, but he might take away minutes from someone else. And I don't know, is there any like merit to playing a couple percent of Hunter Tyson?
I think you could. You could certainly do worse. His minutes have kind of been everywhere, though. So not a guarantee, but someone you could play in a lineup that you have a lot of chalk.
Miles Turner got ruled out, so we'll return to Milwaukee in a moment. We already kind of broke it down a little bit, but we'll see what the model thinks. And Rocket Sauce, yeah. So you were asking because you play the snake drafts on drafters and underdog. On drafters, if I'm not mistaken, the rosters are a little bit bigger, so maybe Laravia could be an option there. But over on underdog, even if LeBron and Luca miss, I haven't looked at that slate today, but I don't know that I'd have Laravia in my top 36. Do you have any thoughts on that, Smitty?
No, I didn't play today, but um, I don't know. I'd like Nick Smith.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if Nick
No.
Smith gets a start with no Braun and Luca, that's not someone you
Yeah,
want to
don't do
draft for
that.
underdog. But yeah, and I
Maybe
say
Marcus Smart.
maybe, yeah, maybe Marcus Smart. But I was actually having a rant with a buddy yesterday. He's the only one on this team that plays defense, Marcus Smart, and he's taking threes. He's only making them at a 30% clip, but he can take whatever shot he wants. He's the only one out there playing defense.
Yep.
And that top 36 on underdog note was because you draft 6 players a team and there's 6 players in a draft, so it's usually top 36 you want drafted. And yeah, so Miles Turner out. Are we done with the slate? New Orleans. Let's
We
talk
got
about
New
New
Orleans.
Orleans.
Yeah.
So I've teased a little bit. One of my favorite GPP plays today is Trey Murphy. He's projected for 15 and 24% ownership, so we're not really getting a discount on the ownership, but model thinks he's okay for value. 10.1 OF is good. And then Zion showing up as a pretty good value, good OF score. Ownership, I think, is pretty modest considering what he's been doing recently. What do you want to do with the studs here first?
Yeah, for me, I'm pretty similar to you. I like Trey Murphy quite a bit. 24% on FanDuel. I don't know if he comes in that high, but maybe he does. I'm around the field if that's the case. I think he's pretty good. Zion, I think, is okay. I'm around 10% on Zion on FanDuel, so I guess I would be underweight.
Yeah, I am over on Trey Murphy. I have about 30% right now. I'm with the field on Zion. And the other guy that I'm actually getting a bunch of here is Derek Queen. This is a GPP shot. Model thinks he's okay value today. 9.2 OF scores pretty good. At 12 and 7% ownership. DraftKings a 6,600 is nice with power forward eligibility. 7,200 on FanDuel. Not as great, but I still like taking the shots there. It just his minutes are kind of back and forth sometimes, so we just have to hope that he plays the whole second half.
Yep, pretty much how it is. But he does have a ceiling, so I don't mind mixing him in, especially when he's under 10% ownership. So I do like him in tournaments. I think he's a good option.
And I did have to bump Sadiq Bey and Jeremiah Fierce to get just a few percent, but I definitely think they're worth mixing in too.
Yeah, same on Fears, especially. Been playing pretty solid, so I don't mind mixing him in against Denver.
I was when I was hand building, I didn't look at any projections yet, like putting in my dummy, reserving my lineups. I was looking at Jordan Poole. He's only 5,500 on FanDuel, and I guess no one's playing him today. I don't know that he's like the other players I've talked about, but I say it almost every stream. Like I think these are the days to take shots on Jordan Poole, right?
Yeah, yeah. When no one's playing him, that's when you want to take some shots.
On DraftKings, this 5,900 price is not attractive, but the 5,500 on FanDuel I could get behind. It's a pretty cool pivot since we have some really good guard value over there. So this hasn't been bad, right? We need a little more, but it's not been
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, it's not bad.
All right, let's build out a dummy over here on DraftKings, and then I'll hopefully remember to reload Milwaukee so we can see what changes with Miles Turner out. But who are your first players in the DraftKings dummy?
DraftKings,
Bo-
Nas Reed.
Bones is Bones in there?
Yeah, probably Bones. And if you want to go Dante or Julius. See, on DraftKings, I kind of think you could play four of them because they're just so cheap.
Let's try it.
Yeah. And then Aaron Gordon for sure.
Yep, Aaron Gordon. All right, so we need a center, a shooting guard, and a small forward, and we still have 6,600 left. Let's refresh the model and see if there's a top of value option that we missed.
Yeah.
Bones, Julius, Nas, Ryan Rollins, Dante, Aaron Gordon's right here. So we're not interested in putting Jalen in the dummy. I'm not putting Case on Wallace in the dummy. Sorry, Case on Wallace, and not gonna put Ryan Rollins in there. But
SGA.
yeah, let's see if we can fit in SGA. We have a couple more value guys. Give me one more like really good value.
Oh, we don't have room.
Is Bones shooting guard? Nope.
Really good
Dante.
value.
We'll put Dante at shooting guard.
Hmm.
Is Dante not a shooting guard anymore? Well, that's dumb. Um, we'd have
Yeah,
to
I
like
guess.
we'd have to put Nas Reed at center. Are you
S-
interested in that?
yeah, I don't mind it.
All right.
SGA might be lowish owned.
Yeah, SGA might be hard to fit in. Everyone's going to play Bones and Dante. Really, any guard is going to come in with less ownership than they probably deserve today.
Yeah.
So Nas Reed. Oh nope, he's supposed to be a center. Nas Reed center. Aaron Gordon power forward,
Another
and
good value.
we're going to fit Dante in. So we have 4850.
So we need a good value play. Man, it's tough.
Caruso, Conley, Kevin Werder.
You could go like Io, and then I don't know what that leaves us after that though.
I want to find that super cheap guy first. Actually, I said we're not putting Case on in here, but we need the salary and we need his position, so we did it. 5,800 for a small forward. Jaden
What's
McDaniels. Champagne.
We could have went Hardaway, but he's not super cheap, I guess. 4,500.
We'll do it like this. We could do Kason and Champagne, or we could do Hardaway, and we'll see who fits. What position is Hardaway? Small forward. That's interesting. Why does Hardaway have power forward eligibility? That's the same height as me. And then, yeah, I like this actually a lot. Jalen Pickett and Tim Hardaway. If
Yeah,
Jamal Murray gets ruled out, we do have three Denver players without the Pelicans run back, but I think that's fine. The Pelicans,
yeah,
the main guys were interested in Trey Murphy and Zion. They're not exactly cheap. We get that SGA revenge game versus San Antonio, and then we have our Minnesota chalk. Not bad.
yeah.
All right, I'm going to refresh this. Guys, I'm going to be leading the Discord today, so instructions to join that are in the description below. I'm going to basically be talking about the same exact stuff we talked here, but I go a little more in depth with my with what exactly I'm playing today. And so hop in there. We'd love to see you. It doesn't look like much changed. Ryan Rollins actually shot up. Do you see him as a guy that gets Miles Turner's minutes? These minutes are still adjusting. I don't think we're projecting Ryan Rollins for 36. And Smitty kind of alluded to it earlier. Kevin Porter could play 40 minutes. I don't think we can project him for 40, though, because me and him would just end up with like 100% Porter if that's the case.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. To me, it just helps the main guys, and then bumps to Kuzma and Portis. I think either one of them are playable, and then AJ Green, like you said, probably gets a minutes bump. After that, I don't know. I guess it probably helps Rollins in a way. They only have so few guys that they really trust.
So someone was mentioning about optimizers are jamming in whoever today. They're going to jam in Ryan Rollins, are they not?
Yeah, see, and that's kind of one of the plays I think I'm willing to get away from.
Yeah, what's he been doing recently?
His minutes have kind of been everywhere, but they've been pretty solid. But the production's been pretty terrible.
Yeah, production took a huge hit when Giannis came back. It's very clear the team wants KPJ to be their main guard, so I don't hate it. I just now my worry is that he comes in with too high of ownership.
Yeah.
Model really likes him though, so we can't just X him out or anything. And then we talked about Bobby Portis a little bit. Model gave him 3 more minutes. Does that sound like enough?
Yeah, I think that's probably good.
Uh, any interest in anybody else we didn't talk about earlier? Kuzma, Gary Trent, or Gary Harris? Gary.
No. Kuzma, I think, is playable.
Okay. Yeah, Kuzma. I'd have to do a new run, but it looks like I'm probably going to get a few percent of my exposures. Model's telling us he's a pretty poor value, even at 26 minutes, projected for some ownership. So if you want to get away, that's fine. But 4,300, I hate Kyle Kuzma as a fantasy player, but 4,300 is appealing.
Yeah. Yeah, and then just Giannis. Like, every little bit helps him.
Uh, Nick's pointing out that this is Sadiq Bey's first game back in 2026, makes some of the secondary pieces for New Orleans a little bit riskier. I don't think I realized that Sadiq Bey had missed some time. I'll mention like I don't think Jeremiah Fear's price is like too high. I'd still be interested in playing him up to 5,900. And that note about Jordan Poole, like his price is still cheap, and he was still going off with a Sadiq Bey in. So I still think the GPP plays from here are still all fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to eat more so at, like, Bryce McGowan's and those dudes.
And do you like Eve Missy? Did you have any interest in him? Not a guy I usually think about, but maybe we overlooked him. He's pretty cheap.
No. I don't mind him, but I'm only playing FanDuel today, so I'm not using my center spot there. DraftKings, I think you could make a case.
Yeah, I generally don't use my center spot on FanDuel for guys like this. DraftKings, I agree. 3,300 seems fine. Bones has shooting guard. Okay, nice. So you could mix around the dummy. Still accomplish what we wanted. I missed that though. Shooting guard eligibility on DraftKings is good. What happened to our Chet love? Chet's good, but it's just Aaron Gordon, Julius Randle, and Nas Reed are going to be the priorities for me. Is Chet power forward eligible?
Yeah,
Chet.
Chet's like the perfect pivot to
Yeah.
Randall.
Yeah, like you can see it right here. We took out Randall, we put in Chet, leaves us 700 to upgrade one of these guys. So I don't know, maybe we upgrade Tim Hardaway to Royce O'Neal or Kevin Werder, who the model was identifying as a strong value. Um, It just those guys are the defaults. I think Julius and Nas, and then Chet's a strong play as well. You had me ready to run through a wall because Chet didn't make the dummy. The thing is, Chet is not showing up as like an outstanding value on the model. Like he shows up as a good value, good OF. The ownership is kind of low, and so he's a good play. Yeah, we're gonna fire up Chet tonight, fellas. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow. Good luck tonight.